Our main focus for today is communism and socialism and its inherent properties to do with singularity in decision making and how it affects society. Let's start by saying if a group of people start making laws and they agree on something, then they usually make a mistake of choosing one person to become sort of like a symbol of an icon. This happens in most human societies to where there are now chiefs, or in developed countries where there are now presidents. But in less developed countries, it's still within the primordial range, like in Africa. There are no president. Someone tries to be a king for some weird reason. There's no working together, if you put it. Here is my argument on why it becomes a singularity. When someone becomes an icon, they usually have to use different tactics to make sure people realize that the person is important. It's not to develop the whole group as a whole, though it's social cohesion. Let's put it for example. A president in Africa will say, preach on colonization, whites are bad against whites, something like that. And the whole group understands it and says, we're now free. But that whole group doesn't understand what truly is freedom. Is it to do with responsibility or civic responsibility, which no one has done mainly in Africa? For example, an example of civic responsibility would be everyone knows who's corrupt and what goes on in all corrupt departments, which affect the lives of everyone. But everyone simply says, let me mind my own business. For example, like you will go and alert elders to say, there is a problem here. We can't, chasing children out of school is against the United Nations human rights violation. I would love to be corrected on that. But you will see children are chased out of school, and the community does and says nothing. And then those within the legal realm will say, there is social services, only report if it's your child who is now affected. And then they will also tell you social services will actually find the parent involved if they neglect the child. And then the system continues over and over and over and over for almost more than 2 decades. You ask yourself, who is this social services department? Is it one person? Because one person cannot do the whole job. So you start to question now, maybe Africans are burdened by this current reality or this current world or this civilized model which is best, which is solely being said out here, is based on European system. No one, you have nowhere to report. And accountability is conditional. Then how do you solve not the problems of society, no, the mind of an African? If anyone has an answer, please say it before it's too late. We implement a reset.